This discipline is geography.
For themselves rather than letting the media tell them.
Element of any functioning democracy.
The people of every communities are relying on media and
considered belong to the government.
Free press is fundamental to a democratic society.
it needs to be globally.
Freedom of the press or freedom of the media is the principle that communication and expression through various media, including printed and electronic media, especially published material, should be considered the right to be exercised freely. Press freedom play a big role in our society today. It is much more active in informing the public about the information that is happening in our society. Free, independent, and pluralistic media based on freedom of information and expression is a core element of any functioning democracy.
A free press is fundamental to a democratic society. It seeks out and circulates news, information, ideas, comment and opinions, and hold those in authority to account. The press provides the platform for multiplicity of the voices to be heard. At national, regional, and local level, it is public watchdog, activist, guardian, as well as educator, entertainer, and contemporary chronicler.
The role of the press in our country is quite crucial, and Philippines is considered as a democratic country. And we all know that the freedom of the press in a democratic country is totally important. And here, I will be discussing about one of the disciplines under the social science that is totally connected to the press freedom. This discipline is geography. Geography is a study of the physical features of the earth. But not just that. Here in the social science, geography is also known as how people live and how they interact with their environment. So in order for the press to gather information accurately, they must know the place and they must consider all the harms and all the dangers of that place before they conduct some interviews or they conduct some research. And this shows how challenging the role of the press freedom is. But here in the press freedom, we could also draw the learning of geography. We are learning the place, their background, the life of the people, and of course, and how people live in a certain area. And because of that, we can draw information for that and spread it to the people. Press, journalists, and other broadcasters are considering this thing. Because in order for you to be an effective journalist or to be an effective press for this country, you must deliberately deliver the information in an accurate manner and of course in the reliable source, which is considering the place of the information or the place where the information began.
Good day everyone, I am Christopher Jan Portillo and I would like to share my own opinion. This fight to protect press freedom has to be global where we all stand up to strengthen. As a human student, I can consider that press freedom relates to democracy, which is the praise and independent of media and press freedom, like who are being silent without valid reason, and imprisoned, killed, and growing the life to be better numbers of people, and the benefits of the related to press freedom is created as citizen engagement. Many people want to be in the right hand of the people. It is considered belong to the government, human geography, while geographers study various phenomena. But before the end of my video, the geography is such as a bridge between the natural sciences and the social science. There is our example, the economy in this study. The role of press freedom in the development of an economy is to invest and to balance. And that is all. Thank you.
So our group's advocacy is not to end the killings against the journalists or to stop those multiple threats that are being sent to them. But what we are trying to promote here is that we want to educate the people because a lot of people remains ignorant up until today of how important the role of the journalist in our society or the role of the press in our country. So our group's advocacy is to promote awareness to the people that journalists are suffering from multiple threats, oppressions, bashings, and of course death from those who are against them. But again, I just want to clarify that the role of the press in our country is very important. That's why our group are trying to promote awareness to the people to continue to support the press freedom in our country. And as a young student, I really want to promote this. Our group wants to promote awareness to the people that the role of this press, these journalists, these broadcasters, as the people who are gathering news information so that they could send it to us and for us to be aware of what's happening all around the country. Kudos to the press of this country.
We propose this solution because we want all the people in the world to stand and fight for the freedom of the press, the freedom of the truth to be set free. Because in psychological aspects, violence and trauma on the journalists will have a huge impact on their lives, where they will choose to be silent and let the public be blind. And that said journalists, despite of what they see, will keep it to themselves in order to protect themselves and the people around them. And that will result for an exhaustion from keeping the secret. According to the psychologist Michael Stepien, we would like to confide and get it off our chest, referring to the secret. But we also choose to protect us and our families. It is a conflict that wears us down. This needs to be addressed and spread globally in order for everyone to be aware and thus standing up to fight for the freedom of the press. It needs to be globally because it is not just our nation who has this problem. The other nations has it also. And if we successfully unite with the other nations, the other countries, we believe we can let it free.
Threats in journalism are becoming more frequent on a global scale due to many environmental factors that the citizens faces every day. In some countries, this form of writing can be seen as a threat to a group of influence and power. Because the essence of journalism is to tell an objective and unbiased truth, which is why many would do anything to dismantle its credibility. However, there are also some cases in certain countries where journalism can be used to manipulate a situation and tell untruthful accounts about many incidents that happen in and out the nation. This can lead to a country not only feels divided and disagreeable to many subject matters, but this caused them to be wary and ignorant of what is going on because it doesn't utilize authentic news story in favor for learning to a favored opinion of the topic.
In the aspect of communication, one must held accountable for their actions, especially if it threatens the life of the people and integrity of the cause. Journalists should always follow the rules of writing, which is to use straight to the point words and spread unbiased truth so that the citizens can think for themselves, rather than letting the media telling them what to do. Lastly, in the area of social work, we must strive to make sure that journalists can be safe and feel respected in their field, because many countries and people rely on the information given to them to not only make them aware, but to also study them to predict the future events.
Our solution is to fight press freedom globally. Communication really plays a vital role to disseminate this idea to everyone. There are different means to spread this solution, maybe through group communication, with circle of friends or families, may it be through public communication. We are speaking in front of a large audiences or group. Also, mass communication within we are transmitting our idea through the use of technological media. Lastly, we can use the computer-mediated communication like email, instant messaging, and thread discussion or bulletin boards in propagating our proposed solution for press freedom.
Hi everyone, I'm Alde, so I'm gonna start. Press freedom is a universal right of a community to hear the truth. The press is the one who provides us the platform for a multiplicity of voices to be heard, and especially in this time of pandemic COVID-19, the people of every communities are relying on media and information literacy for reliable news and information to help a community understand and be protected by these crises. Being involved to the press, just like the journalists, they are exposed to dangers and threats to seek the story all over the community and rather that the whole world, and convicted to expose the truth. That is why every community needs to help journalists to fight for the freedom of the press and freedom from violence.
We need our communities to fight for our rights, to gather and disseminate news, to access information, to assemble and speak freely. Journalists around the world still face persecution, imprisonment, and even death in order to expose the truth. This is very challenging, but journalists have responsibilities to voice out those controversial topics. Press freedom plays a vital role in informing the citizens in the community about the public affairs and happenings in the world.